My name is Pavle Stojkovic, founder and CEO, here with Dr. Emma Ermis, co-founder and chief scientific officer with Gemstone. We are a biotechnology platform that's focused on developing animal health solutions. More specifically, we are the pet industry's first polymer nanoparticle drug delivery system, and I'm excited to dive in and tell you all about it. 1 in 4 vet visits are for skin and coat related issues. That translates to roughly $9 billion spent in the US every single year. A lot of these issues are chronic and lifelong, and the reality is existing over-the-counter products are barely making a dent. And that's where Gemstone comes in. Our nanoparticle technology allows us to create topical products that are a leap forward in terms of efficacy for skin and coat related issues in pets. We are a premium over-the-counter product, and our first product is going to be a topical spray for dogs that focuses on things like atopic dermatitis, skin allergies, and hot spots. And it really is the nanopolymers that power everything that we do. So in addition to sprays, we want to create products such as shampoos, conditioners, creams, lotions, and more. And just to touch a little bit on that first product, the reason why it makes for a great over-the-counter product is it's really easy for pet parents to use. All they have to do is shake the product and spray it directly on the area that they're aiming to target. It's also a great industry to be investing in. By the year 2030, global pet health spend is going to reach $236 billion. For skin and coat in particular, it's growing 9.8% year over year, and then the sprayable subcategory is growing almost 11% year over year. In terms of our go-to-market strategy, pretty straightforward. We want to launch direct to consumers, but we also want to partner with veterinarians and groomers, and of course, retailers, both online and traditional brick and mortar. In terms of competitive landscape, I mean, honestly, there's not that much competition in the space. Over-the-counter products are less effective than what we have, and our product causes less of a headache than prescription products, and it's more cost-effective than prescription products. We're raising money right now, and our goal is to launch directly to consumers within the next 12 to 18 months. Happy to chat more about that during Q&A. And when we think about the market activity in the space, what's really exciting is there's roughly 40 exits in the pet space every single year. Animal health in particular sees roughly a 5.3x revenue multiplier on those acquisitions. And we intend to do that with an incredible team. Dr. Emma, who's an MD, PhD, myself, I have over 15 years of scaling venture-backed companies, as well as a team of DVMs, scientists, and entrepreneurs in the pet space to help us on our way. So right now we're raising $500,000, and we intend to use that money to secure our intellectual property, develop our MVP, and launch that MVP directly to consumers next year. So with that, thank you. Again, my name is Pavle with Gemstone. We believe every pet is a unique gem. And I'd love to have Dr. Emma also come up here so we can answer your technical and non-technical questions. So thank you so much.
What is the MVP that you're trying to do?
I'm sorry?
What is the MVP that you're trying to do?
What is our MVP?
Yeah.
Our minimum viable product is going to be the topical spray that I was talking about for dogs specifically.
You mentioned those 3 channels. You're starting with DTC. Can you talk a little bit more about how much of that go-to-market testing you intend to drive with the capital that you're raising now, and any big milestones that you would expect to accomplish with that in those channels?
It's a great question. So I think for the D2C piece, I expect a larger portion to go there. The customer acquisition cost is going to be higher, especially as we start thinking about influencer marketing and social media marketing and things like that. Digital real estate is more expensive. For the B2B piece, in terms of veterinarians and grooming, the play there is to get involved with the trade shows. So for there, it's like booth space and just materials that we can reuse from conference to conference. Grooming is a $2.5 billion industry, and we intend to just attend all of the conventions and trade shows that are related to the industry. So I think that kind of gives you a sense of where we are.
So first of all, I got to say, great presentation.
Thank
it's
you.
exciting to see some non-human healthcare activity happening in the region. So terrific on that. Would love to understand a little bit more about the product itself and sort of what is the unique value proposition of the polymers. Kind of how does this work, and what will that look like as your product line expands?
Thank you, Dave. That's a great question also. So like many people here, I come from a human research background. And what we're presenting here are specific polymers that are made of two blocks. One is hydrophilic, one is hydrophobic. And when they are put together in an aqueous solution, they form these micelles where you can load both hydrophobic drugs and hydrophilic drugs. So it gives versatility to be able to deliver different types of drugs to the target region. And because of that, our major cell here is this polymeric polymeric nano drug delivery platform, which we can load, as I said, different drugs. Like we can do anti-inflammatory, we can do antibacterial, we can do wound healing, we can do moisturizing, and we can do combinations of these drugs because of the actual chemical properties of the nanoparticles, which allows more than one drug to be loaded in a single particle.
You had a slide on competition, what you do best. Can you explain a little bit more why this is much better than the other guys?
So if you take a look at the over-the-counter products that exist today, if you go to the store and you just see what's available, or even if you just look online, you'll see a theme pretty quickly. And that's that these products have all stagnated and that there's nothing really interesting in terms of the active ingredients. You'll see a lot of oatmeal, diluted bleach, things like that. These are fundamentally brand plays. You know, Burt's Bees has a whole line of shampoos, right? People buy it because they recognize the brand, not because there's any kind of interesting technology in it. So, you know, we believe that we introduce these nanopolymers into these over-the-counter solutions, and that'll set us into a category all of our own when compared to everything else that's on the market today.
So you mentioned that I think your differentiation is your nanopolymer platform, delivery platform. So in theory, are you actually doing formulation kind of within the inside the active ingredients itself, or are you kind of sourcing that from other pharmaceuticals?
So there are two parts of the final product. One comes from the nanoparticles and the active molecule delivery, and the other one is the rest of the formulation. For the formulation that has some more additional components, we are planning to work with a contract manufacturer, but the actual technological part for the drug delivery, we are producing that formulation, that product by ourselves. So when we produce these nanoparticles, they can be added into different base formulation. That's why we can have sprays, we can have shampoos, we can have multiple lines of product.
And just to expand on it really quickly, I mean, that's, our MVP, we're intending to start really simple, really specific, and then expand from there as we start to gain traction, and we can expand into, other pets, other categories, other types of skin issues, so on and so forth.
But I guess, are you getting somebody else's base active ingredient formulation and then just insert it into your nanopolymer delivery platform? Is that what you're currently doing? Or are you actually formulating what's inside the nanopolymer, like the active ingredients?
Yeah, go for it.
So there are two steps to it. So one is the synthesis of the polymers, the block polymers, and these polymers need to be loaded while they're being produced into the micelles. So the actual active ingredients that needs to go into the nanoparticle or in the corona, like in the structure, has to be produced by ourselves. And we have a list of active ingredients that can be combined and target specific conditions. So sounds like a single product, but it could be multiple products for multiple skin disorders for pets.
And what's the unit economics you expect?
Great question. Unit economics.
Okay, so our COGS right now, mostly from US sourced and non-bulk resources. And with that, we are, with the range that we can achieve delivery for different molecules, for a 100 milliliter spray bottle, it ranges between 40 cents to $4 to produce one bottle. So, this is, again, as I said, this is small scale, US sourced cost of materials, but if you go to bulk, we're expecting 3 to 5 times lower than this price per bottle.
One question that we didn't get that I would love to just throw out there and answer is the FDA piece. I was expecting to get it, but I didn't hear it. So one thing that's interesting, the Center for Veterinary Medicine considers these types of polymers a medical device. So for that reason, it's a post-market approval rather than a pre-market approval. So that's why we can launch in the market pretty quickly without having to go through the FDA regulatory hoops. The nanopolymers are not an active ingredient. They're a medical device.
Do you still have to obey on the FDA by the water contents or anything like that?
I'm sorry, Roberto, can you repeat that?
FDA has some water content limitations for some products. Do you have to?
So it depends on
those?
it depends on the active ingredients that we use, and that'll kind of dictate. Our goal for the MVP is to just keep it simple and to show that there is a product market fit for a very simple product where we don't have to jump through all those hoops. As we start to gain traction, as we start to learn more about what consumers are looking for, different breeds, so on and so forth, then we can expand from there, and we'll revisit what we need to do with the FDA, depending on new solutions that we want to introduce.
And on top of that, Center for Veterinary Medicine for active ingredients is slightly different than humans. So for human pre-market notification, you have to submit the whole file. For animal uses, you can submit different parts of files separately and get accepted for, get evaluated for different parts of the file. So it's a slightly more company-friendly approach that FDA has for animal drug products.
A quick closing. Why the two of you? Why now for this product, this market opportunity?
Yeah. So. Dr. Emma and I worked at a startup together for almost 2 years. As startups tend to go sometimes, they don't work out. But what's great is we had the opportunity to work together for almost 2 years, and we realized that we work really well together. So we went out for coffee and we said, you know what, why don't we give it a shot and start our own company? And that's what we're here doing today.
Well, thank you so much.
Thanks,
Gemstone
everybody.
Team.
Thank you.